The scariest animal is a wolf. Wolves are incredibly frightening because they're strong and they're large and larger than me, and they have big pointy teeth, and they might just want to eat you. You don't know. I mean, they just want to kill you. What motive do they need besides I'm an animal and I'm ferocious and you look like dinner? I'm not okay with that.
Dude, I'm fucking afraid of sharks, but I love them. Like, I think, honestly, if I was, like, my biggest fear is, like, floating in, like, the ocean in the deep water by myself and just getting eaten by a shark. But I fucking love them. But they are scary.
Guinea pigs. Those suckers are effing crazy. I've never understood when my friends were younger and they had guinea pigs as pets. I had like hamsters and things, like that's normal. Guinea pigs, you can't catch them, you can't touch them, you can't do anything, and they make the most crazy, horrible noise and they run from you. And then I think they bite, I don't know. Even in the pet store, I hear them and I'm like, oh my God, they sound like they're conspiring against you almost, you know? They're like, ree, ree, ree. It's too much.
Probably like a lion, because lions, like, they don't have compassion. You can't like fool a lion, can't trick a lion into like, hey, here's meat or something. They'll just kill you.
I personally am terrified of, I love water. I grew up in Michigan, so I love water, but I'm terrified of it, especially oceans. And I love narwhals in theory, but they are terrifying. And if you ever watch a video of them with their huge tusk things, I just imagine being in the ocean being speared by one of them. I can't, just the idea of anything being underneath me while I'm swimming, I can't deal with it. And those are like crazy unicorn fish, and I don't play with that.
The scariest animal is any fish that grazes past me when I'm in the water, because it's automatically a great white shark or a stingray or a dolphin or a manatee or you know what? When I'm in freshwater, because that crap is scary too. You got like saltwater scary, but in freshwater, you feel something just go, ugh, it feels all gross. Growing up in Florida, it's like swamplands and there's crap all up in that water. And so yeah, and then if I had to choose like an animal in the water that's probably the scariest, a lot of people think it's sharks. Yeah, sharks are terrifying, but like I think it's probably like some nasty anglerfish, which you don't really have to worry about because they're way down deep. But like maybe a piranha or a barracuda. Barracudas are pretty freaking freaky. And if I ever came across a whale in the real world, I would just freaking panic. And then stingrays, basically anything in the water.
Snakes. 100% snakes. I hate snakes. The texture, the smell, they're cold, they're wet all the time. I'm not a fan.
It's hard for me to pick a actual animal that I find frightening because nature just fascinates me and I think it's all cool. But I think the one thing in Mother Nature that attacks our fear sensors the most is definitely the spider. It's like, it's otherworldly, it's so tiny and has the potential to kill you, and if it was bigger, I don't think there's something that would be so far from us that could scare us more. I mean, it sucks your blood and encases you in something that comes out of its ass. That is frightening.
Fucking anglerfish. They're so scary. They lure you in, and they're from like the depths of the ocean. I'm afraid of everything ocean related. Like, I hate big whales, I hate sharks, I hate jellyfish, I hate sea creatures, I hate mermaids, I hate manatees. I hate all sea creatures, let's be honest, like all of them. Maybe I like seals, maybe, but all in all, anglerfish.
When it comes to animals, I don't tend to find a lot of animals scary. I know the one that causes the biggest reaction out of me is cockroaches. I can see spiders scamper across the floor or smaller animals and it's not a big deal. For some reason, cockroaches have this really visceral reaction from me the second I see them. Like my gut, like it just, and I know it's not a big, they're just gross. It's not, they can't hurt me or anything. But for some reason, every time I see one, for the initial reaction is a freak out.
So DJ's not really afraid of cockroaches because they're cockroaches. He's afraid, like everyone else in my life is, because of what happened to me. When I was 19 years old, I had to house sit for my aunt one time, who's like a super clean nurse. For some reason, her house is just infested with roaches, though. And I felt a little tickle in my ear. Well, it wasn't the tag of a pillow. It was a cockroach crawling into my ear. And as soon as I went to brush it off, he got squeamish and went as far in as he could. I then went to the bathroom and flipped the light on. If you don't know this, cockroaches are afraid of light. That's why they tend to scurry. He was afraid of the light and actually scurried further into my ear, up against my tympanic membrane, and for the next 3 hours proceeded to chew away at my tympanic membrane while I was at the emergency room waiting for the doctors to pull it out. The doctor wouldn't come pull it out because she was afraid of bugs. So they had to wait until the next doctor came in, who just drowned it and pulled it out. There's no reason she couldn't have done that, but that's all right. So often when I tell people that story, it makes them terrified of cockroaches.
Scariest animal is a water moccasin. You can't see it coming, and it's way too quick to stop. If it's an alligator, you're gonna notice it coming. Sharks, you know, just don't be out in the middle of the ocean. Everything's avoidable, but a water moccasin, if that thing's near me, is lightning fast, there's no prayer. Unless you have a knife and you're really, really quick.
The scariest animal for me is legitimately, as ironic as it seems, a butterfly. But if they're big, if you saw a big butterfly, if a butterfly was like any bigger than it is, it would be terrifying. Like a butterfly 10 times that size is not beautiful. It's horrible. Like if you saw a cheetah 10 times the size, you'd be like, oh, how cool, I want to ride it. If you saw a big butterfly, you'd be like, I don't want to live on this planet anymore.